Right now, I'm bonding with my brother Matt.
People think, okay, well, I'll just be a raw foodist, and then they satisfy their urge to be ecologically sensitive by buying raw foods, when the raw foods they're buying are supporting the same industrial system, the same pollution, and the same misdirection.
Yeah, the only problem, now I agree with you 100%. The only problem is the average person's not ready for this.
Well,
it's a journey. It's a long journey.
That's fine, but
it took you. How many
not,
years did it take you to
It took me a while, but it took me about 2 years, and I've been
Right.
going for about 6 or 7.
Right,
But the thing is, I just want to show people that just because you have an issue come up and you think that you should not have it because you're raw, you have to go a step further. That's what I'm showing.
Absolutely. You have to
So
always
then
go
you
a step
have
further.
the other thing I wanted to show really quickly. This book called Raw Garden, and you look in the book and it's like Raw Garden, so it attracts somebody who wants to be more sustainable gardening, stuff like that. Don't read books like this because all these recipes are just like those transitional recipes. You want to
transition.
There's other books.
Now my experience with transition and like I'm basically fruitarian, you're basically fruitarian. I'm not about 90% fruitarian. Why don't you explain the difference between what you're considered transition as compared to ideal diet?
Just easily, it's just very simply, it's just people are very psychologically and chemically dependent on certain foods.
Right.
And they have to wean themselves off. Just like if somebody was addicted to any substance, you have to wean yourself off and be gentle.
You hear that? You have to wean yourself off.
So, but we all know, and we all internally or intuitively know that the simplest diet, just eating the whole foods. If somebody says a raw plant-based diet,
I kind of disagree with you from my experience. We're not in tune, but the thing is, we have to get in tune to our innate intelligence.
Well, that's what I mean by
I mean, it's there, but we have to get more in tune to it.
Right, but we're not going to do that unless we let go of all the attachments. But this is another quick thing.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have. I wanted to this is a quick point, the Hallelujah Diet. Now, this is a point about where you get your information, because it's obviously a Christian-based thing, right?
Right.
So, if they're obviously getting their information from, like, probably the Bible, right? That's where the Christian scriptures come from. That's where a lot of all the information, even like Leviticus talks about diet for the Hebrews and stuff. Read that instead. You know, read the Bible, read the Quran, read the Bhagavad Gita, read those books to get the essence, so you can make your own conclusions.
Actually,
because the point is, what they're doing is they're taking all this stuff out of the context it was in that talks about the whole lifestyle, and they're just talking about in terms of food. So it's fragmented by the time it gets to the person.
I agree with you.
So like Vedic diets, you have to read it in the full context that it was in, because there's so much more to it about the whole lifestyle. You can't just eat one way and then you're part of that lifestyle. Now, another
what you're saying that if someone went more of a fruitarian lifestyle, the parasites should go away in a short period of time.
Yeah, and
that's
here's
what you're saying?
What? Yeah, well, if not just if you're eating, but you have to be living the right lifestyle.
Living the right lifestyle. What does that look like?
You have to have enough time for yourself. You have to have enough time to do your reflections for the day, so you're not just overloading your mind with lots of stress and not dealing with your emotions and the things that are going to eventually cause underlying issues. You have to be eating a light diet. You have to be living close to the land, so you're getting all of your elemental nutrients from the air and the sun and the water. You have to be getting enough sleep, you know, and you have to be feeding your mind with the right information. Like these books here, okay, The 100-Year Lie. I mean, it's got a good thing, but look at the propaganda. Again, it's something that the mainstream uses, and we're trying to break through that paradigm. And I don't believe in the idea that you can just become a part of something to try to beat it. It's like you're sinking to that level.
You're my ideal. I mean, actually, this is my ideal couple. I mean, I want to be just like Matt. I want to have a beautiful woman beside me. I mean, they're with each other 24/7. Ideally, that makes sense. But the reality is, maybe you and one other person out of the millions of people can do that.
No, I think, Arnold, I don't know if it's even worth saying that, because then it's reductive. It talks down to people. Like, I understand what you're saying. I think you're right. But I think that goes without saying. And to say it just sort of like, it's just like, well, let's let some people maybe, like give them the opportunity, you know? And,
okay, we have a big house apartment available for you.
And here's like alkalize or die. Fasting can save your life. It's playing to the fear. We can't be instilled with fear. If somebody says something like I have parasites and I need help because I've tried everything, you have to really look into your heart and ask yourself, have you truly started living a life that you know is the cleanest thing? If you have reduced your life to where you have no extra stress, if you are eating the foods that you know are natural and whole and well combined, all that kind of stuff, if you're doing all those things, until you're really doing all those things, it's really irresponsible to go out and look for some quick fix.
I agree with you. 100%.
And if we don't support that as a movement, if we get away from this whole consumerist kind of marketing,
everything's based on, a lot of it's based on fear. Even
It
raw
is based
food
on fear. We can't be so
And they also-
attached to ourselves
right,
like that. We
right.
can't also when we try to kill parasites or kill candida or kill these organisms, we're making war.
We
What
are
we need
war.
to do is harmonize with it.
We need to make love to each
Parasites-
other.
There's nothing
But hugging it. Hugging, yay!
There's nothing innately wrong with parasites. They're not evil.
They're not
we
evil.
we are neglecting our bodies to the point where we create a home that's more conducive to the parasites than to the healthy organisms that we want to create. So it's us kind of being irresponsible gatekeepers or the irresponsible
right.
creators. So we really need to make sure that we don't get into this thing where we're really kind of like on the outside, we're all advocates for happiness and for compassion. But as soon as our life's in danger, then we become individualists and we start saying like we have to kill anything that's threatening us. We can't be so attached to just this little organism that's part of such a greater organism, and we have to get the fear out of that paradigm from things like this and like from the really provocative things they're doing now, and just using all of this mental stimulation and all these old ways. We need to bring in the new paradigm so that we can get rid of the fear and be honest and think with our hearts and really think, are we really honoring that compassionate idealism that we are going for with just the diet, and let it permeate the lifestyle. And for that to permeate the lifestyle, we have to remove all those blockages of the stuff and the misconceptions and the attachments and our angers and fears and things like that. So it's a really, really big task, and it has nothing to do with food, essentially.
In the meantime, parasites are our friends.
They are our friends. We make love to parasites.
Make love
do
to
not
parasites.
go to war with them.
Not go to war with them.
And have
And more-
patience.
yes.
Yes, and have patience.
Patience, yeah.
I mean, it takes a while for the body to heal.
And how long, in your dog's case, how long did it take to heal?
She-
A couple months.
yeah.
But dogs,
Couple months.
their life's only 7 years long. They got more work to do. They probably do it faster.
Right. So you saw, how do you see a parasite, by the way?
Yeah, there was a bunch in her poopy.
Wow. So you checked
She
her
had
poopy.
every kind. She had heartworms and everything.
So you changed the diet to what, mostly?
Well, first of all, she was totally emaciated. She was about to
Right.
die,
Right,
so she wasn't eating anything, and she was
Right.
living on the streets because they threw her away.
right.
So we had to we changed it to a really clean diet. We started giving her like gluten-free grains and some vegetables and stuff like that.
So was it 2 months completely healed then?
a couple months,
Couple
3
months.
months. I mean, we don't check it, but she's totally better.
So anybody who has parasites, they become more in tune to loving themselves, honor themselves,
Yeah.
go on a much
if you
cleaner
can't
diet.
love parasites,
more
basically,
simple.
you can't love yourself. If you're
Right.
going to go to war with parasites, you're going to war with yourself.
Right,
So you have to really harmonize with it and make peace.
right. Anyway, we heard this is the 10-minute mark. You want to say this? Anything else you want to say? Live from Arnold's Way. Make love, not war. That's the
That's the parasite.
that's the parasite
Love your
theory.
parasites.
Love your
Anything?
parasites.
Love your
Love your
parasites.
parasites as yourself.
Really, you want to say anything?
Just have patience with yourself, because it takes some time sometimes. And yeah, try to reduce. I mean, simplifying your life. It's just it helps in so many aspects.
Right.
And, you know, decreases stress. So I think stress is a big part of it too.
Yes.
But
And
anyway,
let me quickly reiterate that
Yeah.
any of these books that I showed, or any of the food that I showed with sort of a perceivably negative context, it was simply to make a point, and I know that all these books are written with the best intentions. There's a lot of great information, really loving, compassionate people. All the food was made by well-intentioned, loving, compassionate people. I don't have a problem with people trying to make money and stuff like that. I'm just making a point for people who might not understand it fully, the intention, and the application of these kinds of things, and I want to just bring a point so that might bring more awareness. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm attacking
Right.
anybody or that I'm trying to call anybody out, because I don't want to make anybody else wrong. You know, it's more
Yeah.
important to just make the point, put the information out there, and have a discussion. So again, I just want to make that clear so that nobody feels hurt or offended. Or
I love you. I love this guy so much. This guy's the greatest, and I agree with you on 100%. And I tell people that you have to always go up as far as your dietary approach and your lifestyle approach. It's about loving yourself unconditionally.
one of a kind, buddy.
Okay. Anyway, that's it. Live from Arnold's Way. We're saying bye for now. Actually, tonight we're doing a video again about love. We are.
We are.
We are. We are. Okay. Anyway, bye.
Bye.
Day 7 with Matt. Bye.